The following live stream has been pre-recorded. Any special weather reports or tornado warnings that are present during this program should be checked within 30 minutes from your local television stations. Thank you.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Live from Riverside, this is AJ&E News. Now reporting, AJ Baker and Ethan Jakowski.
Good evening, everyone. It is about 9:05 p.m.
Yes, I am AJ Baker, and Ethan, your mic sounds a little bit muffled.
Hold on. Let me leave and come back.
Now it sounds... Okay, Ethan's gonna come back here. Anyway, I'm AJ Baker. Welcome into the newscast.
Is that better?
Ethan, you are good.
Okay.
Just be careful, be on the lookout. Anyway, we welcome you in for another evening of evening news. Of course, what we do here every night. Yeah.
Not that busy today. You know, we'll be playing.
Not that busy to start with. We only have 6 stories to start off with, but knowing with being in kind of the news circulation, that probably won't last long. Quiet won't last long. I shouldn't have said that. Anyhow, I am starting off today with a breaking story after a metro bus crashes into a popular restaurant with some injuries after the bus apparently ran a red light. For more information on this, we have... We do have a clip for this, and... Excuse me. We do have a clip for this, and we're just gonna play it for you.
Tonight, a car crash sent a metro bus slamming into a Shaw restaurant, sending 3 people to the hospital. And the crash all caught on camera. Thanks for joining us on the news at 6. I'm Larry Miller. Surveillance video appears to show a driver run a red light and crashing into a bus, pushing it into the front of a building. Well, crews spent hours working to remove that bus. Sarah Robinson spoke with neighbors about the impact.
This is what the inside of the popular Shaw restaurant Ambar looks like after a metro bus slammed into it early Saturday morning. Thankfully, nobody was inside the restaurant. Otherwise, this could have been much worse.
This is the terrifying moment a car slams into a metro bus, sending it careening into Ambar in Shaw. The light red as the car enters the intersection. The sound of the crash echoing through the neighborhood caught on a Ring camera just across the street.
It's very scary.
Rescue crews say the crash happened just after 7 this morning, sending 3 women to the hospital with minor injuries. The bus driver was also hurt, but not taken to the hospital, according to Metro officials. According to D.C. police, the driver of the Chevy SUV was issued a ticket, but was not arrested.
I've been in Washington, D.C. all my life, so nothing seems to surprise me anymore.
Neighbors woke up to find a local favorite now shut down indefinitely.
People just have to learn to slow down.
They say this intersection typically has a lot of traffic, even early in the morning.
There's a lot of people walking to and from coffee shops, lots of families with young children, people out walking dogs. And I think we're incredibly fortunate that no pedestrians or cyclists or anyone were hit.
These photos from DC Fire show just how far the bus plowed into the building.
I feel for the bus driver, too. I mean, this has got to be a traumatic experience.
The owner of Ambar, speaking with WUSA 9 off camera, says the restaurant was booked for Easter weekend brunch, making this a major setback.
It's been a really rough time for restaurants in the neighborhood and citywide.
Right now, DC Fire and DC Police are both investigating what led up to this crash. Neighbors tell me they are thankful nobody was critically injured, and they hope the restaurant is able to open up again soon. Reporting in Shaw, I'm Sarah Robinson, WUSA 9.
And that was S29.
Yep, that was WSA9. Thank you so much for reporting on that. Um, we will take. We will give you credit for what you so well deserve, just as we kind of talked about last night with some of the changes here at AJ&E. But Ethan has our next story, and it's a pretty interesting one. Ethan?
Thank you for giving me credit. I thought you said you were going to give me credit, but thank you. Alright, anyways. Okay, let me find it. Ooh, I see we got. Alright, here we go. Pip Watch begins for Big Bear Bald Eagles. Jackie and Shadow, KTLA5, has this story.
It is an exciting day in Big Bear because Pip Watch officially begins today for our beloved bald eagle duo, Jackie and Shadow.
Anticipation is soaring as fans wait for that very first crack in the eggs, the tiny but powerful sign that new life is about to emerge. Joining us now from Friends of Big Bear Valley is media manager Jenny Voisard. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. Can you explain what Pip Watch is and why this moment is so special?
Well, PIP stands for pipping, which is the initial hole that the chick will make as it works its way through the egg. And bald eagles' eggs take 35 days to develop, and so we'll be there this afternoon. And Jackie and Shadow's eggs usually start hatching around day 37, 38, 39, sometimes day 40. So it could take a few days. But we're very excited to see, hopefully, new life come from the eggs.
That's amazing. And Jenny, I mean, we're close. Timing is about right. But when we look for that kind of first crack in the egg, I'd imagine, and then what are some of the other signs that you're looking for?
Is it a crack or just a little hole where
True.
you see a little beak coming through?
It can be a few different shapes and sizes. It could be like a little bump. It could be a star-shaped indentation. It could be like just a crack. So it just depends. Jackie and Shadow may be able to hear or feel them. And so we also may see them act like they're, looking at the eggs or trying to hear them. And it'll take a few days from when we notice the first pip sign for the chick to be able to work all the way through the membranes of the egg.
You talked about Jackie and Shadow. What are their responsibilities once the hatching begins?
Well, to keep them, warm and dry and fed. And as we saw last year with Sunny and Gizmo, and also when they had Misty before, they were very busy bringing food to the nest all day, all different kinds, and they were tandem feeding. So they are going to be very busy very soon if the eggs do hatch.
I mean, you hate to kind of ask this question because everyone's anticipating, but is there ever a chance that eggs don't hatch?
Oh, yes. There's 50% of the time they may not hatch.
Ah, okay.
Yes. And so when you're watching nature and you're watching an eagle cam, it's really just about learning about the process and watching it unfold. We can't predict what'll happen. We can't control what'll happen. But we learn about eagles and we love them, and it's just really all part of just watching nature unfold.
And your organization has a fundraiser that's actually happening right now to preserve Jackie and Shadow's home. Can you give us an update on that and how people who are watching can help?
Thank you for asking me. We are working with another nonprofit, and we are trying to buy some land that is going to be developed if we don't. And we are going to buy it for permanent conservation. It's 63 acres. It is an undisturbed shoreline where Jackie and Shadow perch and forage for food, especially when they're tending the nest. We only have until the end of July. We've raised $1.5 million from small donations in a month, but we're really looking for large donations, wealthy donors, companies to step up and help. Jackie and Shadow are a lifeline for many, and they deserve to thrive where they choose to be.
Well, Jenny, we appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you so much. To watch Jackie and Shadow in real time and to donate to the fundraiser to help preserve Jackie and Shadow's home, you can go to friendsofbigbearvalley.org.
And that was KTLA with that story. Thank you so much for that story. At KTLA5 with that story. And now I'm pretty sure AJ's got another interesting story, don't you, Mr. Baker?
Yes, I do. Let me just... Alright, thank you so much. So, we all know this is Easter weekend. It's a very busy time for travel. Some things happen on especially busy weekends like this that you don't necessarily expect. Just as a few witnesses saw when a 1995 plane, or a plane that was made in 1995, had to make an emergency landing onto a busy Pennsylvania highway. Here's NBC 10 Philadelphia with more.
A busy weekend for holiday travel. This was not the traffic drivers were expecting. A small plane coming in for an emergency landing right there in the eastbound lanes of I-78 in Lehigh County.
I was seriously thinking, like, oh my gosh, it's going to hit cars. Like, what's going to happen?
Cordelia Winkelspecht watched it all from her car.
The plane just came flying down, landed so smoothly. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was holding my breath the entire time.
The 1995 single-engine aircraft had 2 people inside, traveling from New Jersey to Indiana when the operator reported an unknown engine problem, according to Pennsylvania State Police.
The plane was attempting to make it to a local airport here in the Lehigh Valley.
The pilot figured they weren't going to make it, and they decided to make the landing here on the highway.
Just before 9:30 in the morning, a safe landing with no injuries. The person whose dash cam captured this video told me she was in disbelief and impressed. Other witnesses shared similar thoughts.
First of all, I exhaled. The next thing I did was I literally said out loud, thank God.
Hours later, we watched as crews hooked the plane up and towed it away to a local airport.
We're lucky to be alive. We're lucky to be okay. Everyone's going to go live their best life.
Traffic is once again flowing here on I-78. Police told us the incident is now being investigated by the Federal Aviation Administration. In Lehigh County, I'm Siobhan McGurl, NBC 10 News.
And that was NBC 10 with that story.
Yes, thank you so much for that piece. Ethan, you have our next story, and we are going to toss it over to you.
Let me get my coin and toss.
A busy weekend for holiday
story. Say, Mass, get out of here.
Apologies. All right, Ethan. We will actually redo that. Hold on.
Dude, not sharing that story. Anyways, I'll share this one though. Interesting though. Pregnant woman, boyfriend killed in pneumonia crash following chase. ABC 7 with that story. Oh, and he just muted.
Pursuit comes to a deadly end in Pomona after the fleeing vehicle slammed into another car, killing 2 innocent people. Police say this all began with a domestic violence call. Eyewitness News reporter Leticia Juarez is live in Pomona with the very latest from investigators. Leticia?
Well, we're here at the scene where it's just very heartbreaking to see the family of those victims showing up here to place flowers at the side of that police pursuit that ended in that horrific crash. The family too overwhelmed to speak with us, but we did learn that the victims included a woman who was 8.5 months pregnant and her boyfriend.
This was the scene at Gary Avenue and County Road in Pomona just after 9:30 last night. Inside this mangled Ford Fusion, 2 innocent people killed after police say a suspect they were chasing slammed into their car. Police say it all started Wednesday night when officers responded to a domestic violence call on East 10th Street. While speaking with the victim, investigators say the suspect returned, driving recklessly and intentionally slammed into a parked patrol car. In that moment, what began as a domestic violence investigation quickly escalated into a dangerous felony pursuit.
Elevated into an assault with a deadly weapon on the police officers and their vehicle by the suspect using his vehicle. So in that case, you now have two egregious felonies which warrant a valid pursuit.
Police say the suspect sped off, leading officers on a short chase through Pomona. The pursuit ended here in a violent crash that left 2 people in the Ford Fusion dead at the scene. The suspect, identified as 31-year-old Marshall Judson, was taken into custody. Investigators say officers also found a firearm and gun parts in his truck.
This suspect had a lot more charges. He had a gun in the car. Was this going to turn into something else on the domestic violence call? Was the public's endangerment because of the suspect? Yes. So in this case, they were chasing a very bad guy.
Now, Judson remains in custody. He's being held on several felony charges, including manslaughter. Reporting live in Pomona, Leticia Juarez, ABC 7
And that was ABC7 with that story. Thanks so much. And now let's go back to Mr. Baker with number 5 story. What number 5 story do you have, Mr. Baker?
Yes, thank you, Ethan. And just as I said, we have more news coming into the newsroom, so we will get to those later. But right now, let me do the
more news.
transfer,
Finally, we won't be so busy. We can be
so
hectic.
that
Finally. Now we don't have to leave. We can stay for a while.
Okay, thank you so much, Ethan. Well, and an experimental in your health now, excuse me. An experimental study against ALS patients with a higher chance for survival is now being tested by someone who has ALS. For more information, here is CBS News. Here's CBS Mornings.
We begin this half hour with a story of hope for a fatal disease. It's estimated about 35,000 people in the United States are living with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. There's no cure, but there might be real progress in preventing it. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook has that story. John, good morning.
Good morning. You know, that's right. ALS causes nerve cells to stop working normally. And currently, there is no cure. But a patient I spoke to is part of the first known attempt to prevent the disease.
Jeff Vierstra isn't afraid to ski down an iceberg off the coast of Chile or skydive over British Columbia. What does frighten him is his family history.
My mom died of ALS, and all of her siblings did.
And how old were they?
They were in their late 30s and early 40s.
ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, is a progressive disease that causes the nerves controlling muscles to deteriorate. Over time, a patient loses the ability to walk, talk, and eventually to breathe. Vierstra and his sisters all tested positive for a genetic mutation that made it likely they would develop ALS.
Living with that sort of like cloud over you is like mentally and emotionally like really difficult.
Both his sisters developed symptoms. They took part in a clinical trial at Columbia University for an experimental treatment targeting the mutated gene. Neil Schneider, the doctor leading the trial, also examined Vierstra.
We did electrical testing and EMG, and there were abnormalities on the EMG.
What was that like?
It was a difficult moment. We thought this meant that this was an early sign of disease onset and that he was at risk for developing full-blown disease.
Dr. Schneider offered Vierstra the same experimental treatment given to his sisters in what would become the first known attempt to prevent ALS.
I jumped at the opportunity to do that.
You're thinking, let's be proactive.
Yes.
Every few months for the past 3 years, Vierstra has been receiving infusions in his spine that target and disable the mutated gene. Both of Vierstra's sisters eventually developed complications of ALS and died.
I think for them, like, it actually extended their life.
As for the previous mild abnormalities seen on muscle testing,
we repeated that study a year after the abnormality, and it had normalized.
Now 41, Vierstra has not developed ALS, outliving many of his family members. How big of a deal is this?
Oh, I think it's a very big deal. And I think there's real hope and opportunity to make this at least a livable disease, one that isn't fatal.
He continues to work as a scientist as well as ski, hike, and travel the world. What are you thinking?
Well, I feel like I'm getting another lease on life, and maybe this actually is working for me. And I can start thinking about the future when I otherwise couldn't have.
Dr. Schneider is hoping to use this research on familial forms of ALS to help people with non-familial forms.
I mean, this is an incredible breakthrough in development, Dr. LaPook.
Yeah.
You have a personal connection to this as well?
Yeah, you know, I took care of a wonderful woman named Jennifer Estes, who had ALS, and sadly, she was a producer. She died in 2003, but before she died, she and others formed a foundation called Project ALS, which over the past 25 years has raised more than $120 million, most of it going to research. I can just hear Jennifer whispering in my ear, mention our website. It's projectals.org. She would be so excited and pleased to see how much research is going on right now.
And that was CBS Saturday Morning News with that story.
Yes, thank you. We do have more news coming into the newsroom, as I just stated earlier, but Ethan has our 6th story. Ethan, what is that? Hold on, let me get that for you.
At least we can stay longer, because I'm not leaving this yet until we finish the news longer. Alright, here we go. Alright, thanks for that, AJ. Anyways, number 6 is a Pierce Company man arrested. Pierce County man arrested at retirement facility for 1919 murder of wife. KRO7 has a story.
Out of Pierce County, showing the moments this man was arrested in a nursing home, now behind bars, accused of killing his wife. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Mel Thomas.
And I'm Monique Mingalava. Now, this is a case that went cold for more than 3 decades. Camera 7's Jason Sloss is live in Tacoma outside the courthouse where the suspect was arraigned today.
And Jason, you were there along with some very emotional family members.
Yes, very anxious in the courtroom today. And the victim's daughter saying this is the moment she's been waiting for 34 years. 68-year-old James Robert Randall entering a Pierce County courtroom and pleading not guilty to a charge of murdering his wife. This body cam video shows deputies arresting Randall at an assisted care living facility in Everett on Wednesday. But all this started back in 1992 when Randall's wife Janice was found dead inside their home in Graham. Investigators say the couple's 18-month-old daughter was still in a crib next to her.
No one in our family ever doubted this. We just had no way to prove it back then.
Investigators say the victim had filed for divorce about a month before her death. Randall told authorities his wife likely overdosed on painkillers, but a toxicology report found she was clean. It was labeled a death investigation, but not enough information was pieced together for an arrest. According to court documents, the case went cold, but was picked back up after James confessed to siblings.
He actually talked to his brother about how he staged the crime scene. He also confessed to this murder to one of his daughters later on as well. And he told her that he had to put a pillow over his wife Janice's head and said, with regards to the murder, quote, "Just know it was me."
Katie Waken, the victim's daughter and the suspect's stepdaughter, says her mother is sorely missed and the siblings are still healing, including the sister who was found in the crib.
Our mom was taken from her. She has no memories of her. And my mom loved her very much. Very, very much. She loves him, but she knows that he needs to be accountable, and she's willing to put aside all of that to make sure justice is met and that our mom's story is told.
And Waken says that sister still lives in the area, but it was just emotionally too difficult for her to be here today. But Waken says she plans to be here every step of the way. Meanwhile, Randall
Jason,
is
how
now being
long did
held
they
on
get
$1
arrested
million
for?
bail.
Well,
Live in
he's
Tacoma,
arrested for
Jason Sloss,
murder,
Cairo
so
7
that's all I
News.
can tell you. All right, thanks, Jason, for that story. Anyways, KTL News with that story, and KTLA5 with that story, and as AJ said, I think we got some more news, don't we, Mr. Baker? You're welcome. All right.
Yep.
Anyways,
Thank
what's the
you
next story you
so
got?
much, Ethan. Let me just transfer. Well, kind of a good one. A good one, but to animal people, a bad one. Take it what you will. But a coyote that has been connected to the injuries, I apologize, the death of a 3-year-old child earlier this week has officially been euthanized at a local location. That's what officials have said. With more on this story, here is CBS News Los Angeles.
4 coyote attacks in the South Bay in a matter of weeks, 3 of them on young children. Now the animal connected to some of those attacks has been put down. CBS LA's Joy Benedict has been following the attacks and the response by wildlife officers.
It's a terrifying moment as a 4-year-old is attacked by a coyote in Carson. And he wasn't the only one.
We have to get this under control at this point before someone gets very seriously hurt.
The grandparents of 4-year-old Solomon thankful Friday to learn the offending coyote was caught and euthanized after investigators determined he bit not only their grandson, but another young child back in February.
You wouldn't normally expect to see a coyote act so brazenly around people.
Court Klopping is with California Fish and Wildlife. It's been handling the investigation into 4 recent coyote attacks in the Carson area. He says wildlife experts with their department and the U.S. Department of Agriculture rounded up 4 coyotes in the last 3 nights. DNA from one of the coyotes found matched the bites of the 2 children.
If a coyote is displaying these kind of violent, aggressive tendencies, that makes them a danger to the public.
It just never dawned on me that a coyote would be that aggressive.
Robert Martinez's son Levi was also bitten by a coyote on Monday night in a parking lot about a mile from young Solomon's grandparents' home.
No, oi, bite me.
The coyote bite you. Did it hurt?
It hurt.
A 31-year-old woman was also attacked last week, making it 4 attacks in 2 months.
It is believed by our law enforcement division officials that it's very possible that that coyote was responsible for the other 2 attacks as well.
The other 3 coyotes rounded up this week are being held while they wait for the DNA results from Levi's attack before deciding what to do with them.
With coyotes specifically, you don't relocate them. You have to put them back where you found them because coyotes are so territorial.
But for now, this community is calling it a win, knowing the coyote who attacked this little boy won't hurt another, as these families hope the attacks simply stop.
I'm praying that they get all of the offending coyotes. If it wasn't one,
And that was CBS
then
Los
catch
Angeles
all
with
of
that
them.
story.
From Carson,
Thank
I'm
you
Joy
so much for
Benedict,
that.
CBS LA.
Yes, thank you so much, and I literally just sent Ethan's next story to you. We do have some more news coming into the newsroom that I will be anchoring in just a moment. But Ethan, you surprised. Well, not surprisingly, but you seem to always get the most interesting stories. Kind of similar to the one that we talked to.
Thank you.
Kind of similar.
I'm
this
silly.
one is
I'm
kind of
upside
similar
down.
to one
Anyways,
of the ones that we had last
back
night.
to the news. Well, I'm upside down. I don't care. You know we're doing it virtually, but I don't care. Anyway, special ed teacher arrested after alleged restraint of 4-year-old Keller Elementary. CBS Texas has that story. We had a different story about the school. Well, another school. Yeah.
A special education teacher tonight accused of holding one of her students on a mat because the child wouldn't sleep. The alleged incident happened back in February at an elementary school in Keller, and now the teacher has been arrested. All new at 10 o'clock, our Marvin Hurst with a closer look at the accusations.
Clouds loom over Shady Grove Elementary School. The Keller ISD facility has a teacher who faces allegations clear to at least one eyewitness, Keller police say. In an email sent to CBS News Texas, the alleged victim's mother says her daughter was enrolled in the Early Childhood Intervention Program due to autism and a significant speech delay. She is largely nonverbal and unable to advocate for herself. The mother also wrote on February 9th, during nap time, my daughter's primary classroom teacher allegedly pinned her down to a nap mat because she would not sleep. According to the 4-year-old's mom, my daughter was physically restrained for approximately 10 minutes while she screamed and cried for help. The incident was reportedly witnessed in real time. That was on February 9th. The woman says that she and her husband found out about it 7 days later. Keller police say a criminal report was filed on Teresa Newport on March 3rd. Investigators say they verified the claims because a teacher's aide saw it all happen.
By the time Wednesday came, Newport was under arrest. She was facing a charge of unlawful restraint. She is out of jail on bond right now. I did manage to speak with her on the phone, but she told me she was too busy to speak.
Keller ISD would not say if Newport is still working for the district. They would only say due to personnel and legal considerations, we are unable to provide further details. The TEA has a number of guidelines in place to protect special education students and equip their parents. In this case, the child's mother says her daughter wakes up screaming every night because of what allegedly happened at nap time. It's the dark cloud that won't leave their life. Marvin Hurst, CBS News Texas.
That was CBS Texas Marvin Hurst with that story. Thanks so much for that. And anyways, we got to go to Mr. Baker because I don't know if we have another story, do we?
Yes, we do have another story coming into us now, and we'll just transfer. Alright, thank you so much. In Miami-Dade, hundreds of people have gathered to mourn over their vice mayor's death. For more information on this, here is CBS News Miami.
Now at 7 tonight, the Coral Springs community gathers tonight to remember its Vice Mayor, Nancy Mateo-Bowen. Her husband is charged with her murder. Good evening, I'm Jim Berry. A vigil is taking place right now, in fact, outside City Hall. CBS News Miami's Abby Dodge is your reporter live in Coral Springs. And Abby, obviously a very emotional time there this evening.
We are just moments away from this vigil getting started. There are already a couple of hundred people out here gathered on the lawn in front of City Hall. We've seen countless hugs and moments of sorrow before even the first word has been spoken. The lawn in front of Coral Springs City Hall is filled with people dressed in orange, a symbol of the life lost to gun violence. Vice Mayor Nancy Mateo-Bowen was a staple in the town. The city's mayor says she's irreplaceable to everyone she knew.
We're missing a light. We're missing a very loving person. We're missing some sunshine. So we're having a little darkness for the time being.
Police say Mateo-Bowen's husband, Stephen Bowen, shot and killed her Tuesday night and then slept in their home with her body upstairs. Bowen was arrested Wednesday at an apartment building in Plantation. His uncle called 911.
I understand that we're worried about her and we're trying to find her, but we can't just break down the door. We have to have a reason, and right now there's not a reason to break down the door.
I'm going to give you a reason.
Okay.
Okay, my nephew, her husband, came to my house this morning and told me that he did something to her.
Okay, her husband?
Is he alive? He said no.
Her husband?
Yes.
Bowen remains in Broward County Jail without bond. Time and time again this week, I've had friends tell me that they want to remember Nancy by the life that she lived and not the way that she died. So we will be giving you the heartfelt moments here from this vigil.
And that was CBS Miami with that story. Thanks.
Yes. Yes, that was CBS News Miami's Abby Dodge with that reporting. We thank you so much. We do have more news coming into the newsroom, but currently we do have clips for them, but we do not have them imported into our system. So we will take a brief, probably a 2-minute break, and then we will be back with more news right after this. Okay, we are back with more news. Thank you for letting us have that short break. I am AJ Baker. Ethan Jakowski has this next story, which I just sent over to him. So, Ethan, what is the story that you have? Let me do the transfer.
Oh, I hear you. All right, thank you. All right. Ooh, looks like we have a police searching for gunman who shot off an officer in New Hampshire. WBZ Boston has the story.
In New Hampshire have a neighborhood blocked off and are scouring the nearby woods for an armed suspect who's accused of shooting a local police officer. WBZ's Logan Hall is live for us in Raymond, New Hampshire right now. And Logan, I know you're being kept a good distance away, but we did just get some new information from police.
Yeah, Ken, that's right. Good evening. New Hampshire State Police just moments ago giving us new information and confirming that the armed suspect that they are looking for did, in fact, shoot a police officer. Now, I want to take a step out and just show you what the law enforcement presence on scene looks like here. This is one of several barricades along Ham Road, which is where police have designated the search area so far. And we have seen officers patrolling this area heavily armed, wearing bulletproof vests. Now, at about 1:30 this afternoon, law enforcement was was called to a home on Ham Road for reports of a man shooting at his family. When officers arrived, the suspect opened fire on them, striking one of the officers, who was transported to a nearby hospital. Now, the suspect fled the scene and is still believed to be armed at this time. He's described as a middle-aged white man, 5'11" and about 200 pounds. Now, we've seen SWAT teams and armored cars speeding through this neighborhood. Residents in the area of Ham Road and Nottingham Road are currently being asked to shelter in place until further notice. They're also asking folks here in this area to report any suspicious activity that they might be seeing to local law enforcement. Ken?
And that was WBZ
All right, Logan, thanks.
Boston, also known as CBS News Boston, with that story. Thanks so much. And now we go to Mr. Baker, which he's muted.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. We do apologize, folks. In the news world, of course, we would have had these all pre-prepared, but we do some of this live while we're taping. So again, we have a clip, but we don't have it in the system yet. So just a moment while we handle that, please. Thank you. I will be anchoring the next report right after this. All right, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Now we have a new alert in health news this morning. This evening, excuse me. There is a new COVID strain out. COVID is certainly not done yet. It has still been mutating around this country. Anyway, the new variant is called Cicada. And with more information on this new variant, here's CBS San Diego.
Social distancing seemed far in the distance, but the virus...
Yes, sadly, COVID still is a thing. It has been mutating, and now there's this new variant called Cicada that does seem strong enough that we want to make sure that you're aware of it. Kids do seem to be getting it more, but thankfully, we are not seeing any greater complications from it.
The days of masking and social distancing seem far in the distance, but the virus that shut down the world is still circulating. The Centers for Disease Control says Cicada COVID has now been detected in 25 states, including California.
COVID to me is one of the weirdest viral infections that I've ever seen in my career.
Thankfully, Dr. Andrew Eads isn't seeing any cicada cases at our local emergency department. The county's Health and Human Services Agency confirmed there is no evidence of cicada in the wastewater that they're still testing, but say it's only a matter of time. Cicada is a subvariant from Omicron, seems to have stemmed from South Africa. Now about 30% of the cases in Europe are this version.
What we know about the new variant is that it has a lot of mutations in the spike proteins, so it may be evading the immunity that you've had from a previous infection or from the vaccine. It seems to be infecting kids with a little bit higher frequency.
Kids ages 3 to late teens are contracting cicada COVID more, but good news, it doesn't seem to be causing more severe illness. If young and healthy, rest fluids and let your immune system do its thing. But it's once again a time to be mindful then of who you're around, like grandma and grandpa and those who are immunocompromised.
COVID is still a pretty serious illness. It's still hospitalizing people and people are dying from it. It still happens.
Symptoms still include everything from no symptoms at all to fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath, headache, nausea, and new loss of taste or smell. So you're still encouraged to test to know what you're working with.
You're still going to have some coverage from the vaccines you've had in the past or the infections that you've had in the past. It's just that this has developed enough mutations to put people on notice that it may be escaping some of those immune defenses that we've developed.
As for prevention, the same advice still applies. You can certainly wear a mask in a crowded place if that makes you feel more
And that was
comfortable.
I think that was CBS, wasn't it?
Stay healthy, San Diego. Jenny Day.
News text. Oh yeah, San Diego.
Yes, that was CBS 8 San Diego.
Can we keep
thank you so much for reporting on that. And we have reached the end of the newscast.
Almost 10 o'clock.
No, we can't. It is 9:50 Eastern Standard Time, at least where we are. Yes. So we would once again like to thank every news organization that helps us out with these broadcasts every single night. Again, each one of them will be getting the credit they deserve from us, included in
And thanks,
the
and we want to
short
give our thanks to
versions
Riverside
of
for helping
the,
us use the website for that.
Stories, at least in the description. Yes, we once again are powered by Riverside. If you want to learn more about this specific program, please go to riverside.com or riverside.fm.
And I'm Ethan Jakowski, and we hope you guys have a good Easter.
All right,
because
and
tomorrow's
with
Easter.
that,
Hope you guys all have good
that
plans.
wraps up our time.
And we'll see you guys maybe in the next newscast. Who knows? Good night.
Yes, and we will have Easter off, so good night.